Hello on a Whim listeners, and welcome to episode 8 of season 2. And you know what? I still haven't decided how I want to say that. Such a mouthful. Season 2, episode 8, or episode 8, season 2. I don't know. I'm Paul Vella, and I'm one of your hosts.
And I'm Jabari Lewis Smith, and I'm your other host, the co-host. Oh, well, I guess we're both okay.
We're both hosts for both.
Yeah,
however we want to say it. They know we are in charge of this thing as much as we can be, right?
Yes.
So, yeah, Jabari, how's life been since our last time we've talked? We don't usually talk outside of these things now. I don't know how I feel about that.
I think it's just recently, just how busy I've been with work and stuff like that. It was the final 2-3 weeks of one of my shows that I've been working on, and it's usually like crunch at work at 6:18 a.m. leaving work at 10 or 11 p.m. Long days, but you know.
So what was your role? Like ethnic child number 10 in the background?
In this one, I was actually it's actually reasonable and it's not embarrassing or degrading. I'm just
oh, good.
Yeah,
I was worried.
Like I can't say the name of the show, but
sure.
It's just high school stuff. I was a high school student, and also a big part of their like coffee shop scene. So I got to wear normal clothes. I wasn't black guy or black bystander or anything like that. So
urban background actor number 10, that kind of thing. Yeah, I get you, Jabari. I'm sorry you have to sometimes deal with that stuff, but, know. But it sounds like for the most part that's coming to an end, huh?
Yeah, it actually just ended on Friday. So yesterday of for a post onto this recording. So Friday was my last day. It was a pretty good day. This is probably I've been working in background acting for on and off for 10 years. So this last I didn't even know it was that long because I've been doing a lot of things like going to Japan, going to different countries and school. So it just kind of flew by actually. But yeah, 10 years of that. And this is the first show that I actually made friends on. Because usually I'm just there to usually I'm on set just, I'm making the money. I want to sit down in my chair and chill. And then once they call us into work, I work and that's it. Then I go home, spend my money later on. But for this set, everybody was friendly. The other background actors were so freaking cool. I have like their Instagrams now, and they want to visit me and stuff when I actually leave to Washington. And the crew members were so chill as hell. Oh my gosh, I've never met such like a cool set before. And this is the first time I actually sad of just leaving like work, because they really made it fun.
So you dropped a little hint in there about Washington. So let me ask you this. Are you sad your acting career being background for 10 years is coming to an end? Question mark? To be continued?
No. And this is why. This is why. Because background acting to me, like these, to be honest, is degrading. I'm an actor. I want to be in front of the camera, I want to be the lead actor. I don't want to be the background actor. So for 10 years, in the back of my head, I'm just like, I'm here for the money. This is not me. I'm not just a background actor. This is not an acting career. So like leaving it behind, I'm so freaking happy. But it's me leaving to Washington for a totally different job. I'm happy. I have mixed feelings about it. For acting, since it's my passion, it's something that I will never stop. I will always find a way to perform somewhere. And for film and stuff like that, I was never really interested too much in film, anyways, in the first place. So leaving LA is fine. What I've always been interested in was more voiceover stuff and theater as well, musical theater specifically. So even though I'm in Washington, I'll be leaving Washington in about 2 weeks or so. I still have an excellent microphone. I can still do voiceover in that city. They do have a small acting scene over there. So
Nice.
yeah, so I've the dream's still living on, and this new job, even though it's going to be like backbreaking, long hours and stuff, they give me 3 days off, and I can use that time to audition for voiceover stuff if I want, or work on my own personal projects. Which,
Man, Jabari,
yeah.
you say that now that you're gonna have time on your days off, and I've been there, done that. I hope you can maintain, because the struggle is real. That first day off you get, you're like, okay, I'm gonna be productive, and then 13 hours later, you're like, what the hell did I do today? Like, where did the day go?
Oh yeah,
Because you're so. Do you know what shift you're gonna work once you move? Once you get the new job?
they haven't told me. There's a lot of information they haven't told me.
Of
You
course.
either get a day shift or a night shift, and it's usually 12 hours straight. So 12 hours plus. It's mandatory overtime, but they pay really well, so I'm not too mad or anything like that. But
No, you can't complain. Gotta make that money.
yeah, I gotta make that money, and they're giving me I'm not gonna say how much that I really wanted, but
No, of course not.
they're giving me nearly double of what I ever would even like dream of getting. And also I found out like one of the people talked to me and they're like, wow, you're actually really overqualified for this position. I'm like, oh really? But this is like a manager job. I'm like, and they're like, yeah, but you have this, you have you already have your BA, which is the minimum requirement, but you also have so many years of experience working and managing and stuff like that. And also
You do
have
manage.
and also I have my my, what do you call it, the degree of the master's degree, sorry,
Your master's degree, yes.
the master's degree. So they said that I already qualify to move up 2 positions, but so it's going to happen fast. So that's
Nice.
even more, like they're already paying me more than I can ever wish for. And now since I'm going to, they told me that I'm basically going to be raised 2 more positions. That's like, it's like an extra 40-50K on top of what I wanted.
We still need to go out for our master's beers.
Bro, yeah.
We like, just for that, just, the 2 people within our group of friends that have the master's degree. We've gone drinking before, but not like that.
Yeah.
Not celebrate our master's degree. That's we'll get around to it, but that's awesome, Jabari. I hope they're just not hyping you up. And they're like, oh, you're gonna do great things here, and then you end up in the graveyard shift and just rot away. So I have every confidence that you will get that promotion. You'll achieve. So
yeah.
What did they say about the studio? Like
They
about
don't
that?
know anything about it. I mean, during my interview, I did mention, like a lot of my, like for my interview questions and such, I use experiences from the studio, and they said, oh wow, that's cool. So it shouldn't be an issue, but I have to look at the contract. But it isn't like I'm competing against Amazon or taking ideas or stuff. I'm not working in the sector that can do that actually. So
right.
So
what I was thinking is, so you gave examples of you being a leader, of you managing a team and all that from the studio.
Yeah, that and previous job in the medical stuff.
So would you say the studio helped?
Oh yeah, definitely. And
that's another one. We'll count that. Bank it. That's another job with studio. For the listener out there, the Whim Independent Studios, the company me and Jabari we co-own with 2 others. We pride ourselves on helping people get a job, like in any sector, right?
Mhm.
And even my job, the studio helped me kind of get. So just that's another one.
There's
Bank
a
it,
noise.
count. Exactly. So take it like from downtown. Perfect.
Yeah.
Good job, Jabari. Proud of you, man.
Thank you.
Hopefully this is somewhere you can make your career out of, and you can still continue to expand on what drives you, right?
Mhm.
What makes Jabari tick.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of opportunities. I don't right now I'm just working for a fulfillment center, managing, everybody, making sure that everybody gets packages and gets their orders in and all that good organizational stuff. But Amazon's a big company. They have Amazon Luna, they have Amazon Studios, and they said if you're within the company, if you're working within the company, you can basically move anywhere that you want. There's a lot of opportunities everywhere. So I might end up back in LA again. Yeah.
Right. You gotta put your time in and do the work and do the thing, and you'll be fine.
Yeah. And I'm pretty happy because it seems like things are lining up. I just completed one of my like financially, I just completed one of my goals with this new job. It's gonna give me a lot of financial stuff. And then also for my birthday, like last week or so.
Whoa. You have birthdays?
I have birthdays.
I think
don't like to celebrate.
You just congealed in a gutter somewhere and you emerged and your parents were like, oh, it's Jabari, let's take it home. Because I never see you post anything about your birthday. Why is that?
I don't like the attention, or I think I just don't like the attention.
I hear you.
Yeah, it's just a personal thing. To me, my birthday's not a big deal. But then again, I turn around and if it's somebody's birthday like yours or other people's on the teams, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's your freaking birthday. We need to do something.
I never understood that. Like we don't celebrate your birthday that much, but like mine, holy crap, you go all out. Like this guy. So I when on the admin team, Grover posted happy birthday, right, in a private channel that us admin share. And he's like, I know you don't want this public. And I'm like, why doesn't Jabari want that public? So now I know. But I know when it's my birthday, you'll write me this long, you sexy grandpa or something, like whatever you used to say to me.
You get a message, we'll go out to dinner.
Exactly. You and Grover practically dragged me to dinner last time in October. So I'm okay with it. That's fine. I see you. There will be revenge now that I know what's up.
But yeah, for this birthday, another goal that I completed is that I always wanted to create like a album, like a music album, like a small EP or something. Ooh. And I finally released it on my birthday, and it's out there. You can look it up, but it's not something that
is this the first time you're announcing that?
Yeah, that's the first time I announced it because it's not something.
It happened here first, ladies and gentlemen of the listening audience. We made an official announcement here. You heard it here first.
Well, yeah, it's not something that I'm trying to advertise or anything like that. But
you just did, mother.
I kind of, but I'm just telling you my goals that my goals are being completed. My personal ones,
you know what? That's pretty awesome that you are setting reasonable goals that you can accomplish within a reasonable amount of time. That I'm proud of you, man. It takes a lot to put a little bit of yourself out there, like that. So. I hope it's successful, and I hope I hear it because I'd like to.
Oh yeah,
support my friends.
All you have to do, it's on all major music platforms. All you have to type in is Missouri Loves Company. That's my artist name, and the album or the EP album's name is called Just Be You. And I have just 4 songs on there. It's not something that I'm going to advertise. I'm not trying to break into the music industry or anything like that. It was just a personal goal that, this is what I like doing, and I want to prove that I can put it out there.
Absolutely.
And yeah, I mean, I could have been happy with just releasing the 4 songs that's on there and just keeping it within my computer, but I want to give it the whole 9 yards. Yeah, so now I released it. The big reason why I released it on my birthday specifically is because my favorite Japanese singer named Suga Shakao, he released his actually his debut was on February 26th, but in Japan that's on February 25th. So I kind of wanted to release it, my EP, on the same day that he released his that he became when he debuted his music. So it was just like a little special thing.
Maybe we can get Shadoe. We can get some of those music and make that our starting intro music for On a Whim, and have the listener hear some of that, because that'd be pretty cool.
Maybe not.
I don't know, but shout out to Shadoe Trammell, our audio engineer. Thank you so much for putting all this together. You see how I did that? I naturally
yeah, and also thank you, Lucia, for the beautiful art chibis that she provided for us. That we use for like our YouTube and stuff, and it's our beautiful faces and shows our expressions and personalities.
Yeah, pretty much. It's hard to make this face beautiful, but you pulled it off, Lucia. So I appreciate you as well. So I hate to backtrack a little bit, but we talked about your time in the industry, right? The movie industry. I know we had a previous conversation, Jabari, where you were afraid of being blackballed. Do you want to touch on that a little bit, since you are about to leave the industry, about the threat of being blackballed within the industry?
Yeah, I could talk a little about it. I'm trying to remember like why exactly I was freaking out. Something happened where
COVID happened.
Well, COVID happened, but I think that was maybe before. And
they were forcing you to show up, even though COVID was rampant at that point, and the president at the time was in denial was happening. All that stuff was happening.
Yeah, shoot, I feel like there's like a couple stories of blackball, but yeah, I think the last time was dealing with COVID-19, and I was scared that if I don't work, that they will put me onto their blacklist, because I accepted their job. But things were getting scary. People were getting sick. And the last thing that I wanted to do, especially at the beginning of when everything shut it down, was get my father sick, because he was already sick. He actually went into the hospital March 2020, the same day actually that everything shut down. So it was a big scary thing. And I'm just like, I can't work. But the good thing is that everything shut down, so I couldn't work. Right. My father almost lost his life. Like, he was so close. The doctors basically gave up on him, but the only person that didn't give up was my mom, and she's a nurse herself. And so she basically like yelled at people to try different things, and eventually one of the medicines started working for him. Like, literally, you couldn't even move in his bed. And have you ever seen somebody like about to die, like they've been sick for a while?
Mm-hmm.
And
I have, yeah.
It's not a pretty sight. And you can read, you can smell it, you can see just death on their face. Right. And it's like, what do you do? But
I knew he was sick. Mm-hmm. But I didn't know how bad it was. I'm sorry, Jabari. Damn.
No, yeah, that's why I suddenly exited from Whimindie for like a good 2 weeks or 2 or 3 weeks. I was just like, I'm sorry, deuces, guys. You told us that your dad was sick, but I did not know. You didn't tell us to what extent. Well, I mean, we didn't ask either, but we respected your privacy enough. But damn, I didn't know it was that bad. Yeah. Oh, probably even at that time, I probably could even mouth it because it was just
type it or whatever.
Yeah. I didn't even want to say it. I didn't want to jinx it or whatever, but like, he's doing better now. A big reason why I was supposed to go to Japan for 5 years, not just 2 years, but the big reason why I came back was because got super sick, and like it didn't look like he had much. So I wanted to come back and make sure that he's okay, see what we can do, whatever I can do to help. And in March, when that happened, when he actually got he's been in the hospital on and off, but this was the first time that it was just like severe. And I was just like, the whole time I was in a depressive mood. I was like, I couldn't do anything. I felt bad. My whole family was just like in shambles and stuff.
Right. Yeah, that's your dad, dude. Yeah, your dad who raised you. So yeah, I get you. Yeah.
But skipping from my dad to back to the main topic, something more upbeat.
I don't know if it's an upbeat topic, but yeah.
Something.
So is the threat of blackballed like that deep? Like, is it that bad?
It depends on it just depends really on the situation. Because I'm doing background stuff. To be blackballed it's not really important, because you're being blackballed from background work. And is that a bad thing? It's probably actually a good thing. But because that background stuff was my only main source of income, and it paid me well, I was scared of making the video gods mad and putting me
absolutely on I hear you.
Yeah, so I felt obligated to take on whatever work, to do whatever they needed or do whatever they wanted, so I can ensure that I get a paycheck at the end of the week and take care of the things that I have. But this, it's like, how does blackballing work in there? Usually if you just piss off one of the casting directors, they'll remember your name, they'll write you down, and I believe they all have like a blacklist of people that they never want to work with. I think in the nursing industries it's DNR, do not return, and you don't want to be put onto that list because casting directors know other casting directors, and if you piss them off enough, they are definitely willing to share their list and warn other people's with it. It's a small industry.
And education's about the same, where they put you on a non-reelect list. So at the end of the school year, you get your contract. And then if you don't meet the requirements, and they don't have to offer you a new contract, right? You're part of the union under contract, but they don't reelect you. There's a process for that. And once they do all that, they'll let you go. And I don't know how common it is for districts to share their lists with each other. But I know it's almost non-existent in like police departments, because some departments will hire other officers who were fired from their departments.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah. I saw the problem with that too.
That's a huge problem, right? But then just to go back to the industry, right? There's a story of Paul Bettany, who plays Vision in the MCU, right? The Marvel Cinematic Universe, and who just finished up playing Vision in WandaVision. And that was a really good series. We might do a spoiler talk on that maybe later on. We haven't decided on it yet, but it just came out yesterday, so I don't yesterday being Friday the 5th. So I don't want to give too many details on it, but Paul Bettany was blackballed. His a movie producer told him his career was over, that he was done in Hollywood. And as soon as he left that meeting, his phone rang, and Joss Whedon, who directed Age of Ultron, told him, "Hey, I know you're Jarvis, but how about this?" And he became Vision. So I'm curious to know how often this happens.
And yeah, what I'm saying is just from opinion, but I think it happens a lot. It's one of those hush hush things, like the Steve, what's his name? Harvey Winston or whatever.
Harvey Weinstein,
how download that was put down for a while, years and years of sexual abuse and taking advantage of people who are working around you.
Right.
But yeah, the blacklist it's truly there, and it's being constantly added to. And
so do these fools have like this giant Google Doc that they just add people to? And I won't work with this guy, but don't hire this person, you know.
It's probably
this
more
giant
like
Google Doc.
It's probably just more like an informal list within especially within agencies.
Okay.
Yeah, within the agency, the acting agencies. You know, if an actor does them dirty, or they don't, you know, they get stardom and they don't pay, or whatever the case may be. I feel like gossip is something that they tend to do a lot, and they'll talk to whoever will listen, or you know, mainly their friends, because they're all a lot of casting directors know each other, and you know, like, it will probably be like me and you sitting down at a dinner table talking about like a past person that works at Whimindie, like, and we may be joking around and stuff, but you know, we can tell that this person is a bad person, and just sharing that information. If we were to sit down as our studio, and we talk with one of our partner or people that we worked with in the past, like a different studio, if that person, you know, if we indicate to them like, oh, this is this actor or this performer or this developer is a bad person, then they're going to listen. And if that developer tries to go to that studio, then they're surely going to not hire that person at all. And I feel like that just spreads so much. And shoot, you can be added to this blacklist for a number of things. You can be added because you declined a role that they really wanted you to go out for. You can be added to this list because you made a certain amount of money but didn't give extra to them or thank them for whatever role that they offered to you, or they could be jealous because if you leave the acting agency and you're like, okay, I want to go on my own way, I want to go with this agency, they'll probably get mad and say a lot of bad things about you. They remember the bad things when you do something bad to them, or they feel like they were cheated. But yeah, so many things to be added to a blacklist. And I don't care what anybody says. Oh, I don't have a blacklist, or that's not really true. I guess I can't really give you proof or anything, but you just have to wait around to see what happens. You have to experience for yourself, and maybe it will be displayed in the news someday. Not for me, I'm too unknown for something like that. But you know, if a big actor out there does something dirty, and they're definitely going to be blacklisted. And this is probably leading more towards like what do you call it? Culture, cancel culture as well, because now the fans have the power to basically blacklist an actor from. So now
that's different, right? Now you piss off the casting director because you didn't get on the couch and do the thing, right? Stuff. You know, yeah, the blackballing. But the cancel culture, and I think we touched on it when we talked about it as a subject. I feel cancel culture is a consequence for something you did or said or are insensitive about, right? Like you cannot go on a racist tirade anymore, right?
Yeah.
Like Mel Gibson, I remember when he had his little anti-Semitic rant when he pulled over, right? I think he got pulled over. That was years ago, and his career suffered because of it a little bit, right? He had just directed Passion of the Christ at the time. I think, don't quote me on that one, which is ironic, but but that's like the first, you know, remember when Tiger Woods was caught, you know, triple, quadruple dipping it into, he was addicted, right? He was an addict, and his career suffered because of it, right? So I don't want to say cancel culture is anything new because
it's not new.
There's consequences to your actions, right? You have the freedom of speech, but no one has to listen to you. No one, you don't have to make people listen to you, right? You, like the same thing we talked about last week with, or the last episode. I won't say last week. The last episode was about, if you make your company look bad, there's no contract in the world that's going to save you. You got to go. So, they'll pay you whatever it takes. But if you're making them look bad, or they put you on the dreaded administrative leave. That's my favorite one, because they're just getting a paid vacation at that point, right? So, not to knock, people who are accused, wrongfully accused, fabricated stories. Things are known to happen. So I just gotta remember, innocent till proven guilty. Just not when it's on Twitter or any other. I'm like, how, like, these people sometimes, like, you really posted that? Like, really? You went on that kind of rant against this group of people? Like, you can't be serious, right? Unfortunately, this also exists in, or fortunately, unfortunately, also exists in the video game industry. And the moment I realized this was actually during an IGDA Las Vegas chapter meeting that I think you and me both went to, Jabari, one time. Like, was it 2019? The good old days?
The good old days.
Yeah.
Before times.
The before times, right? Before the Rona. So I remember the speaker, I don't remember who it was, went on to say that, just remember how small the industry is, the video game industry in this case. That whatever your actions within one company can affect your future within the industry because it's so small, right? Beginning development of video games to going from Quake to what's the other games from those times, right? The was it Rage? One of the, where it started very small, and then people from that studio started other studios, and that studio starts other studios, right? It's like, you see the family tree pretty much, right? Where does this person get their influence from, and where do these people? Half-Life is the thing I was thinking of, right?
Gotcha.
From the Quake source engine, yeah. So just all these influences, and at some point, like you said, you could, I could be sharing space with the lead composer of Halo at E3, which happened. Christopher Nuno introduced, waved and said hi to somebody. I'm like, who was that lead composer of Halo? Kind of thing, right? Yeah, exactly. I'm in the presence of greatness, but it's like you said, Jabari. These people talk to each other, and knowing who you should and shouldn't talk to, right? Like I told everyone that you can go to HR and complain, but remember, HR's there to protect the company, right? So
not the employee,
not the employee itself, right? That's when you go get your lawyer, you go get someone that's going to support you, right? Don't be a victim. You need to stand up for yourself, right? And if you do get blackballed after you get your lawyer, you're in for a nice little payday, right? Because there are laws that prohibit retaliation and things like that, right? So just so everyone's out there, right? These industries pretty small, right?
Yes, indeed.
Right. So it's really curious how that all comes together, right? So so Jabari,
sure. Maybe one day I'll get to experience it myself.
Getting blackballed. You should do something that gets you. You should do something that gets you blackballed on like your last gig. You just do something stupid. You start like, this latte, I wanted it with 3 ice cubes, not 10. Just go off on a good one. Make it something viral. Then you'll get your 10 minutes of fame. Jabari, I would pay you just to go on this total diva rant on the set of a studio or something.
Oh man, you'll pay me, all right.
I
As
don't know
long
how
as
much
you
I'll pay
pay me
you,
my
but I'll pay you.
salary for the rest of my life.
I don't know about all that.
Oh yeah, shoot. But shoot, I can't even see myself like going on a rant like that unless somebody has to really piss me off. But like for a coffee or something like that, I'll be like, oh, can I just please have some coffee or anything like that? Anything is good. I feel like that's probably me here trying to be all considerate and stuff. And like I hate like what do you call it? Inconveniencing like the crew members and or the crafty services is individuals that handle your food and stuff like that. The PAs come to you and try make sure that you have everything that you need, and you know they guide you through things. They try to make you safe and stuff like that. I really appreciate those people. They work hard. And yeah, for me to go off on a tangent about some coffee, not having enough creamer. Oh man. But you know, some actors do that and it's crazy. It's like really ungrateful, egotistical.
I mean,
people.
at the end of the day, I'm kind of the one counting on you to make me money because as the marketing director of Whimindie, you're the one who's gonna end up making us the money. So it's funny how that works out. Like, I'm not gonna pay your salary, but you might pay mine or help get me my salary with Whimindie, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of funny. It really shows how far we've all come, right? You know, you've gone from this little background actor to now moving on to bigger and better things, right? You know, just the steps you take, right? Which, speaking of marketing directing, right? Speaking of you know, being that guy with your team here at Whimindie, let's talk about how that like marketing in general just affects us. Like we see marketing every day, driving down the freeway, watching TV, Hulu commercials. Not saying we're sponsored by Hulu or anything. I'm not saying that at all. But we're just marketed to every day. Like, let me ask you this, Jabari. How you as a marketing director, someone who's studied marketing, like, are you able to identify when you're being marketed to? Like, oh, I see what they're doing here. They're doing XYZ, right? They're doing this.
Gotcha. Yeah. Most of the time, like I can, because I was trained. I went to school for marketing for my master's degree for 2 years, and like I look around, I'm just like, oh, that's why that's there. Oh, that's why that. Oh, okay. Why did they put the logo there specifically that big? And it's like everything you look at, it's there's marketing that's applied to it. I'm looking at my setup right now for my microphone, and there's the audio interface that's here that's connected to my mic cables and stuff. But there's a huge logo, Focusrite, and not advertising them or anything like that. That's just labeled on there, visible all the time. And each time I look at it, I think of the company. I think about all the different audio interfaces that they provide. I start thinking about microphones, and I'm wondering, is this one good enough? Should I get another one because I really like it? And that's marketing already, so it's working for them. And yeah, it's actually scary how much material's out there that's just being marketing to you, because some of it's super obvious and some of it is super it's what's the word? I just had the word, but it slipped. It's help me it's where it's not really noticeable, but it's there.
And like, it's like subtle, implicit.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, I guess I was thinking of a different word that it's not a part of
I don't live in your head, Jabari. First of all, that would be scary because I don't want to. It's full of K-pop. It's full of K-pop. Attractive women, and then second of all, yeah, that I don't know what the right verbiage is for that. Maybe we can fill in the listeners on the next.
Yeah, there's a lot of words that can replace it, but
sure.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this, Jabari. Like, what convinces you to buy something new? Like, it's like what makes you buy a new product that you've never used before?
More recently, The best thing that makes me want to buy a product is basically reference from like a friend or something like that. When a friend tells me, hey, I tried this and it was so good, I'm like, oh, okay, let me try it too. Maybe I should try that. And one day I'll probably go to the store and see that item and be like, okay, here's my chance. This person said that this was good. So that usually instantly makes me buy something. If it's something that is a new product and nobody's really talked about it, I'm kind of wary about it. I have to do my research on it, and sometimes people don't want to do the research on it like me, and they're less likely to try that product because they don't know it's something that's it's scary. Like, who knows if this is going to taste good? Who knows if this product is going to work on my hair right? Who knows, right?
Right.
But yeah, word of mouth, reference from a friend. That's actually one of the strongest marketing pushers that a lot of marketers are actually pushing themselves to people. So when you think about reference from like a friend, the closest things to that will be getting a reference from somebody that you like or somebody that you're a fan of. So that's where that's kind of why for our company I was pushing getting, what do you call it, the not the Instagram, like the YouTubers and influencer marketing. And
right, influencers.
Yeah, the influencers. Oh my gosh. And
that's a word.
Yeah, they're yeah, and why they're so popular is because people look up to them. They enjoy their content, and because it's coming from an actual person, they are more likely to try out new products that they've never tried before, as opposed to like a comparing this to like a company that has a new product and maybe they have a commercial, or maybe you see like a pamphlet or something on their product. You still have never tried it before. You still don't know. But the biggest pusher would be getting that reference from that friend, from your parents, or from that influencer. And yeah, that's what you see a lot of now.
I mean, yeah, just looking at my mic setup, right, where my recording equipment is, it's all you. You're the one who told me you need to buy this, you should buy that,
Yeah.
and this is good. This will increase your quality and this and that. I'm like, yep, that sounds good to me. Like I will default to the expert, right? Like I trust you, I trust Shadoe, I trust the artists on our team, on our development teams, I trust the programmers, people that are trained in this thing, right? Like if you know mics and sound, I'm going to default to you and Shadoe every time, right?
Yeah.
So that's that, and I agree. That's one of the strongest when someone says, you should buy this. And I'm like, huh. And I might do my due diligence and I might look into it. I'm like, huh, they're not talking out their ass. So then I proceed, when it, like for the blue mics that you got me to get, I had no hesitation once I look all the reviews and a bunch of 5 and 4-star reviews. I'm like, yep, Jabari's right. It's the old adage, trust but verify, right? Or trust and verify. So I hate saying but, because anything you say but, anything that goes before the but, you disregard. So trust and verify. That's so like, for example, I'll notice every now and then when I'm being marketed to, right? The example I think I've given before is Carl's Jr. hamburger advertisements, right? And you laugh because that Carl's Jr. is known, or was known, I don't know if they're still doing it now, for having very racy, Paris Hilton washing a car in a leather onesie, or girls in bikinis playing volleyball. Like I know you're marketing to me. I'm in your age range. I'm a male. No, that's about it. I'm a male. Right. So like, and that's one of the things I don't like when, you're driving me to my primal instincts, right? Yeah, I want a hamburger, but I want the hamburger because it tastes good, not because there is a scantily clad individual who I so happen to be attracted to is on screen eating a burger. It does. So are there any things like that like irk you as a marketing professional, which is what you are, a marketing professional? Anything that like that's bad form or just like, oh, why are you doing that? That's not right. Like ethics. Like, are there any ethics involved with this?
Oh man. So just going back to that commercial, what you're talking about, that's a great marketing tactic. It's a great marketing strategy.
I can't imagine why.
Yeah, sex sells, and it's probably one of the best strategies that are out there. Sexualizing something, or making things cute, or just something that people can be attracted to. For those commercials, I mean, washing the car and stuff like that with a burger and eating it, does that really make you think of hamburgers and stuff? Not necessarily, but they know that you will remember this pretty lady and doing the stuff. They know that later on you will recall that and
can confirm. Still remember that commercial.
See, yeah, and they know that that whatever is associated with, you'll remember that product as well. So that lady eating hamburgers. Now you're thinking about hamburgers. Now maybe you're getting hungry. Now you're thinking about Carl's Jr.
See, but then I don't feel hungry. I feel like I'm being sold to, and that makes me angry. Like this. Is there anything that's like that for you as someone who's marketed to, or someone within the marketing? Do you have anything like you're like, no, I know what you're trying to do, back away from me, kind of thing, like kind of thing? Again,
just like what we've been talking about, that commercial, I've always hated those commercials with a passion. I think it's pretty low ball, and for me personally, I've never been really attracted to those women. Like, I understand their beauty. I guess maybe I look at beauty at a different way. So it doesn't attract me. It doesn't turn me on or anything like that. It doesn't make me think of the hamburgers. I'm just thinking like, this is kind of degrading to women.
Got it.
Yeah, but I'm trying to think of like other things that marketers do. Like, I know in the past, like smoking commercials, or smoking commercials, or I think like other food commercials, they'll be showing. From what I'm here, maybe I'm probably going to mess it up how it went, but they'll show people having fun or something like that, and all of a sudden, quickly you'll see like the words like smoke or something like that. I think I'm thinking of Family Guy right now because they were making fun of it.
Oh yeah,
but yeah. It's like smoke, right? And then, but it only flashes. I remember that. Yeah, it only flashes like quickly, to the point where you can read it for a second and it disappears. But throughout the commercial, it might appear 4 or 5 times, and subconsciously, subconsciously, now you're thinking of smoking and stuff like that. There's little tricks like that marketers can, like, they'll pull off, and I don't like that stuff, but sometimes it does work, and as long as the person who's in control of that, the marketer, is has some type of morale or morals, principles, and stuff like that. That's clean and fair. Then that's usually stuff like that doesn't happen. Everything's open game, but sexualization in marketing, it works. But I feel like they shouldn't do that for a product that has nothing to do with it.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, sex like and burgers.
If you buy this car, you might get pretty lady. Like, I'm like, no, that's never gonna happen. Like, but it's actually true though. They're pushing it. They're making it obvious because some women, they're materialistic, and they'll go for that guy that they're flashing cash or have the nice car,
which is sad. Instead of looking at them as an individual, and usually those guys are assholes, but it's the other way around too. It's not just one sided. It happens both ways.
It's a two-way street. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I hear you on that one. But yeah, that's is there an ethics class that comes with
No.
So you do not take an ethics class in marketing?
No.
Marketing masters? No. That's funny because usually in every in every master's degree that I've looked into is this, these are the ethics of your field, right? Even when it comes to, especially my field, right, as a school counselor, there's a lot of ethics that come with that, confidentiality, I guess it's mental health to a degree. So, but with marketing, which also employs psychological tactics, which, we've talked about before, you're telling me everything's fair game. You can, if you can get people to remember it, you should do it. Like the one that I remember was, this is your brain. This is your brain on drugs, right? And she just goes off with a sledgehammer. And like you said, well, Paul, you remember it, so it worked. And now I hate myself a little bit for remembering these things. Thanks a lot, Jabari. Let's make happier thoughts besides Paul getting manipulated by marketers. Is there anything this year you're like really looking forward to, video game wise? Like I know last time I mentioned I'm looking forward to Mass Effect coming out this year.
Sorry, let me go back to what we were just talking about the ethics and stuff like that.
Sure.
Yeah, just before that. So there are classes that are out there, like especially for business and there's laws and ethics classes that you could take. I don't want to say that there's no ethics class in marketing, but the thing is that my master's program was a little bit different from most people's. It's an interdisciplinary studies. So basically I've chosen the path that I wanted to go, like the different classes that I wanted. And I just had to have it approved by the director of the chair of that program. So I think there was a business law and ethics class for I think it was just for business. But that's probably a class that in a regular marketing program that you will have to take. And I didn't take it. Okay. So I don't know the rules.
I was about to say, got it.
Yeah. For me, I personally just go off of, my intuition. I know I have my own principles and morals and, and I'm looking out for the business, what they think too. And all of my choices are hopefully good ones. And when they are bad, you guys will surely tell me this can't happen.
Oh, for sure. I will tell you an idea sucks in it, and you should feel bad for it. Don't you worry about that. But there's the old saying, right? There's a French proverb that says, "There's no softer pillow than a clean conscience," right? So, take that for what it's worth, But if you're going to market something that you are not going, you won't go to sleep knowing that you sold, like maybe cigarettes, like a product that kills people. King of the Hill said it best, Dale Gribble. He's like, they kill millions of their satisfied customers every year. Who am I to them? so it's one of those like surreal things that he realizes it, smoking will kill him, but he's still going to do it because it's a damn good product. A damn good product.
He's addicted and they're taking advantage of it.
Exactly.
I guess you just have to work for the companies that you feel all right with. That's at least my stomach. At least that's what I think. Like I'm glad to go to Amazon. I wouldn't have picked any other company or anything like that besides like Nintendo or a few that I enjoy, but Amazon is one of those ones that I appreciate. I love what they're doing. So I'm glad to become a member of the company as a manager.
Sounds good. So you'll have 3 days off to, like we talked about earlier, to continue your career and to continue your what you like to do. Are you gonna fit some video game time in there?
Of course. If I don't, I'll go insane.
I mean, you work for Whimindie, so you're a little bit insane already. But I know I talked about Mass Effect, and I'm looking forward to it coming out this year, the remastered. Are there any games you're looking forward to coming out this year that you were able to recall?
Oh, okay. I can never recall anything, but let's see. So, actually, a game that I really been wanting to play is the Crash Bandicoot 4 that they came out with in October on PlayStation. I think they're coming out with it on the Switch. Now, I don't think it's out yet, but it's coming. That's what I'm looking forward to. Breath of the Wild #2. Woohoo! I can't wait to get my hands on that because I'm probably just going to close my door. I'll probably give myself a couple like safety meals, make sure I don't die as I play through that game because I want to be immersed in that game when it comes out.
I do remember there was 2 friends of ours, Jabari, that did that. They got this game. I don't remember what game it was.
Animal Crossing. Maybe?
No, not that time. There was 2 friends of ours that pretty much sequestered themselves in one of their rooms for an entire weekend. They only emerged for meals and then to go home and take a nap and then come back, even if that. And they just stayed in this weekend. And I could not imagine the smell of that room. Like you know, when a bunch of individuals are in a room and just their smells of
the mixture of smells from 2 different people at the same time, but that's even worse. But like that's even alone, worse.
Yeah. but yeah, the I can't stand my own smell, let alone someone else's, right? So
oh man.
But yeah, does Breath of the Wild 2 come out this year? Or is that still a couple more years away?
I feel like that's a couple more years. I'm hoping for next year, but we'll see. They announced it a year or 2 ago. So, and they're using the same game engine and stuff. So it's like additional content really that they're adding to it. So it should come out swifter than expected.
Nice. Well, like the Mass Effect remaster, right? They're adding all the DLCs to it and everything looks nicer and graphics are updated and they're taking out a couple controversial things in it. Like, what was it? Miranda, right? One of your crew members from Mass Effect 2. They're taking out the fan service because there's a lot of shots in Mass Effect 2 that focus right on her butt.
Oh man.
Like zoom in, picture perfect butt. And it's one of those times that you're like, parents? I hope my mom doesn't come in here. So that's a tease for our next episode, listeners. If you tune in for episode 9, you will get that's a tease for the episode 9. So this has been episode 8. I hope you all enjoyed this episode. Go ahead and give us a rating if you can. Jabari, are we still only on Spotify or have we branched out?
We are on Spotify plus 6 other platforms. Apple Music. I think it's Apple Podcasts. We're on Google Podcasts as well. There's some other ones too. I forgot the names of them because I don't really look. I don't really know about it too much of the other ones, but it seems like more are being added to it, and we don't really have to do anything about it. It's just going to be added, and they're going to send me a list of different podcast sites that we are going to be on.
Love it. I love the things that are automated like that. So
yes,
thank you so much for getting this uploaded, Jabari. Thank you to Shadoe for the audio engineering. Thank you for Lucia for the art and the graphics. And thank you, listener. Again, please rate us if you enjoyed it. 5 stars, wherever platform, per 10 out of 10, however the rating system works. But we appreciate you tuning in week after week. We got these going on. So this has been Paul Vela.
And Jabari Lewis Smith.
And we have been your co-hosts for the On the Whim podcast. Until next time, y'all keep it nerdy.